Time zones. They tell us when to wake up. They tell us when it's time to get to work. They tell us when to watch our favorite shows. But they're more than just lines on a map. Time zones help us understand our place in the world. Allegedly, they tell us that we are living on a spinning planet orbiting a star. Imagine a world without time zones. It would be total chaos. Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. People in different parts of the world would be waking up at different times. Wait, they already do that. What time would we meet for important calls? I guess when the phone rings. It's enough to make your head spin. But not enough to make the Earth spin. Hee hee. Time zones bring directed order to our alleged planet. They allow us to communicate and collaborate across vast distances, but before telecommunications, I guess it must have been a bunch of psychos running around actually talking to one another. They are a testament to human enslavement by those punk-ass tricks, and their desire to control everything around them. So, how do time zones work? It all starts with the sun and the sundial, which predates Gregorian calendars, brought to us by those bitches in government. The Earth allegedly spins on its axis, making a full rotation every 24 hours. As the Earth rotates, different parts of the planet face the sun. When one side of the Earth faces the sun, it's daytime. When the other side faces away from the sun, it's nighttime. This according to a theory put forth by a Jesuit priest in an attempt to remove God and replace him with a Big Bang and evolution. Time zones divide the Earth into 24 sections, each spanning 15 degrees of longitude. But in reality is not what you've been taught in the indoctrination camps, those bastards. Each time zone represents 1 hour of time difference. The prime meridian, which runs through Greenwich, England, is the starting point for all time zones. Little known fact, the prime meridian used to pass through Paris, France, but it was relocated for some nefarious reason. Thanks a bunch, Nazis. It's located at 0 degrees longitude. 0 also being the IQ of anyone who still believes we live on a spinning, rocky water ball. As you move east or west from the prime meridian, the time changes by 1 hour for every 15 degrees of longitude you cross. You might think that time zones are evenly distributed across the globe, but that's not entirely true. North of the equator, there are 24 time zones. At the equator itself, there are 18 time zones. And south of the equator, there are 32 time zones. Why the difference? Well, it has to do with the shape of the Earth and the way we've chosen to divide it. Remember, they tell you the Earth is a sphere, not a flat surface. So why are there not exactly 24 time zones? Because if people were told there were more time zones south of the equator, it would raise too many questions. The lines of longitude that define time zones should converge at the alleged poles, but this would also mean that the areas closer to the poles would have the same time zone squeezed into a smaller space. Allegedly, the southern hemisphere has more landmass closer to the South Pole compared to the amount of landmass near the North Pole, because the landmass called Antarctica surrounds all of the continents of Earth. This results in a greater need for more time zones in the southern area of Earth. The southern area of Earth, particularly Antarctica and parts of Oceania, has a particularly interesting relationship with time zones. In Antarctica, time zones are determined by territorial claims made by different countries. It's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle, with each country setting its own clock based on its research stations and areas of interest. Oceania, with its scattering of islands across a vast expanse of ocean, also presents some unique time zone challenges. Some islands have adopted half-hour time zones to better align with their economic partners or to reflect their unique geographic locations. Others have chosen to deviate from standard time zones for political or cultural reasons. They even divide us between imaginary lines on maps. The distribution of time zones in the southern area is a fascinating example of how geography, politics, and practicality all play a role in shaping our understanding of time. Time itself is a man-made concept, just another way those a-holes tried to control and enslave the people of Earth. It reminds us that even something as seemingly straightforward as telling time is influenced by a complex interplay of factors. Factors we must dissolve in order to be truly free humans.